The gaming market is suffering from a plague called greed. More and more games are being rushed and released as unfinished slop, prices have been increasing for years, and companies are trying harder than ever to manipulate you into spending your money. In a market that's driven by profit and numbers, the identity of video games as a whole has become lost. So how did we get here?
From humble beginnings.
Video games are the biggest entertainment medium literally ever. It's bigger than movies and music combined. It wasn't always like this though. Gaming has been around for a long time, since around the late 70s, and they were once seen as a novel but unpopular option for entertainment, as gaming was still in its infancy and had its issues such as quality control and consumer distrust. But by the early 2000s, video games had become a cultural icon. Companies such as PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox were releasing blockbuster hits, innovative and quality new experiences, all while offering cutting-edge but affordable hardware. And in turn, they cultivated a player base that was devoted to their games. Games like Halo, Half-Life, Counter-Strike, and classic Call of Duty were smash hits and became a centerpiece in culture. These original titles are still held in high regard to this day, unlike their contemporaries. Now in 2025, that early 2000s boom had ballooned into the behemoth that is now the modern gaming market. I'm talking a collective market cap of $2.1 trillion. But all that money's got to come from somewhere, and majority of it comes from recurring revenue and microtransactions. And this is especially prevalent within the AAA gaming market, which is the most popular type of video game. But what even is a AAA game? Well, it's basically the same as a blockbuster movie. It's developed and marketed with the intention of being a premium experience made to entertain players with a large amount of content, playtime, or provide a gripping story. But you see, when a company makes a video game, it costs a lot of money. It's become the norm to see a premium 2025 game having a budget in the hundreds of millions, with some games even reaching billion-dollar budgets.
I gotta make some dough.
These massive budgets also put a lot of pressure on the game to succeed and quickly make its money back because of the astronomically high investment put into it. These deadlines are often strict, quality is put aside for the sake of time, content gets scrapped, and the full game on release day is often unfinished, doesn't work properly, or is just uninspired and copies from other titles. When one of these massive projects from a publisher inevitably fails, the economic blunder often falls back onto the employees in the company. The lower level developers, the QA testers, designers, etc. Mass layoffs ensue with hundreds if not thousands of people losing their jobs because of poor management from the higher ups. And to make the money back, publishers often gorge their games with microtransactions. In the past decade, high rising development costs and the fact that microtransactions are known to work means companies are getting hungrier, greedier. A shift in the industry was coming. They wanted to see just how much they could get away with before people were fed up. Modern corporatization and monetization of the gaming market has been a plague on the industry. Half-baked unfinished products, rising costs, quote-unquote games that are nothing more than glorified storefronts, along with anti-consumer practices and disrespect towards fans are just a few of the major problems still crippling the industry to this day. And it's been seen time and time again, with the biggest companies often being repeat offenders and pulling the rest of the industry down with them. The biggest publishers that gain some of the biggest notoriety from the public after continuously showing us why you should never trust corporations. Nintendo sends cease and desist to charity events, knowingly sells poor quality controllers at $95, which are known to drift, and they also thought releasing this for $70 was a good idea. Electronic Arts laid off 400 of its employees this year alone. They bloat their sports games with pay-to-win player packs, and they knowingly sold Battlefield 2042 for full price when it was unfinished and in a buggy state. Ubisoft harbors a toxic workplace known for sexual misconduct, consistently milk their IPs yet still underbake them, and aggressively monetize their single-player games with skin packs and bloat the gameplay to incentivize you to buy time savers. Assassin's Creed charges you $2 to buy the fucking map. Anti-consumer activity, employee layoffs, under-delivering and deceiving their customers, it goes on and on. And this isn't anything new. This has been going on for years, and it's only getting worse now that publishers are pushing the extent to what they can charge you for.
See anything you like?
Yeah, I'll give you $1.50 for this umbrella.
$1.50 for that? But it's a legendary
$10.
The point of a business is to make money, but when the top gaming publishers are becoming more profit-driven and their sole goal is to please their investors, well, it turns out just how you expect it to. Making money becomes the sole point of making games, and because investors want a constant stream of income, This major shift and the emphasis on revenue over the quality and fun of a game lead to every other aspect of making a game become worse. We're seeing AI being chosen for development over actual employees, which leads to soulless games. Games are purposely made to be just entertainable enough to give you that dopamine rush, and then the rest of the dev time is just subjected to putting together an in-game storefront and manipulation tactics such as loot boxes or battle passes, which are FOMO. This shift in priority has led major publishers such as Activision, EA, and Take-Two to heavily over-monetize their titles such as Call of Duty, Madden, and GTA Online, just to name a few. Some of these games are being sold at full premium prices and also including a large amount of microtransactions within their game. For these publishers, roughly 75% of their entire revenue is not from the game itself, but the microtransactions within these games. Loot boxes, player packs, skin bundles, currency, it's the same thing with every game you see these days. Despite backlash from consumers, predatory monetization strategies are still here because they work. They make a shit ton of money. For the past 5 years, these companies have been hitting record-breaking profits from their in-game storefronts and $30 skin bundles. Why would they stop now when it's still working? And that's kind of the problem here. When these publishers are solely profit-driven and they see their microtransactions make most of their revenue, then the quality of the game itself declines. More resources are allocated to storefronts instead of delivering a polished and enjoyable game. Or rather, less resources are pumped into the game itself anyway to just cut costs. And when you start cutting costs, you're cutting quality of the game. Live service games such as GTA Online, for example, actively make content tedious or grindy to incentivize players to just skip a heist and buy the in-game currency instead with a shark card. What was once an art form now becomes glorified cash grabs. Games are becoming more expensive with less content and less quality. Greed has caused a corporate fatigue. However, this fatigue has a silver lining. It is driving players toward the indie and AA markets instead. Games like Schedule 1, Hollow Knight, Palworld, Baldur's Gate 3, all massive industry-breaking hits. They succeeded because they rejected the AAA formula. They offered complete, fairly priced, and deeply engaging experiences that prioritize fun and player respect above all else. The success of these titles proves that audiences are not just willing, but eager to reward developers who treat them with respect, and who still see video games as an art form, not just a way to make money. The AAA industry isn't being killed by TikTok or rising costs, it's committing suicide through its own insatiable greed, and players are simply and wisely spending their time and money elsewhere. I suggest you do the same. Vote with your wallet.